What will happen if France joins BRICS? This is a question that is on everyone's mind right now after French President Emmanuel Macron voiced his desire to be invited to the next BRICS summit set to take place in August. But the main question that nobody is paying attention to is, why might France want to join BRICS? And which other nations desire to join BRICS? Join me in this video as I explain to you the 10 shocking facts that nobody is talking about. So without further ado, let's dive in. Number 10. France's desire to diversify its alliances. France's expression of interest in joining BRICS stems from its strategic objective to establish stronger relationships outside of its traditional alliances, particularly with the United States. Over the years, France has pursued an independent foreign policy, aiming to avoid blind alignment with any single global power and to assert its autonomy in decision-making processes. By joining BRICS, France seeks to diversify its geopolitical partnerships and enhance its influence on the world stage. France has historically maintained close ties with the United States as a key ally, but it has also shown a willingness to challenge U.S. dominance when its national interests are at stake. For instance, France opposed the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, asserting its own position and emphasizing the importance of multilateral diplomacy. This move demonstrated France's desire to shape global affairs based on its own assessments rather than blindly following the United States. France has sought to position itself as a mediator between the Western world and other global powers, including Russia and China. It has actively engaged in dialogue and cooperation with these countries on various issues, such as climate change, counterterrorism, and nuclear non-proliferation. Number 9. Growing interest from other nations to join BRICS. France's expression of interest in joining BRICS aligns with the increasing desire from other nations to become part of the bloc. The BRICS countries have emerged as influential actors in the global economy, collectively representing over 40% of the world's population and a significant share of global GDP. This rise in prominence has attracted the attention of various countries, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and several others, who have also expressed their intentions to join BRICS. The growing interest in BRICS membership can be attributed to several factors. The BRICS countries have demonstrated remarkable economic growth and development. According to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in 2021, China's GDP surpassed that of the United States on a purchasing power parity (PPP) basis, making it the largest economy in the world. India, Brazil, and Russia are also among the top 15 largest economies globally. These economic achievements have piqued the interest of countries seeking to benefit from the expanding markets and trade opportunities within BRICS. Number 8. Potential benefits of a BRICS currency. One of the key ambitions of BRICS is to create its own currency for trade among member nations. This initiative carries several potential benefits, which may explain France's interest in joining BRICS. The introduction of a BRICS currency could reduce dependence on the U.S. dollar as the primary global reserve currency. Currently, the U.S. dollar status grants the United States significant economic and political leverage. By establishing a BRICS currency, member countries aim to end the domination of the U.S. dollar and promote a more balanced global economic order. Reducing reliance on the U.S. dollar would bring greater stability to international financial transactions. Currency fluctuations can have significant impacts on trade and investment, affecting the competitiveness of countries' exports and the cost of imports. A BRICS currency would provide a more predictable and stable environment for trade within the bloc, facilitating economic cooperation and potentially leading to increased trade volumes. Number 7. Diminishing dominance of the U.S. dollar. France's potential membership in BRICS could contribute to challenging the long-standing dominance of the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency. Currently, the U.S. dollar's position grants the United States significant economic and political leverage. However, the establishment of a BRICS currency for trade among member nations would reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar and promote a more multipolar financial system. The dominance of the U.S. dollar is evident in global trade and financial transactions. Approximately 88% of all foreign exchange transactions involve the U.S. dollar, and around 61% of foreign central banks' foreign exchange reserves are held in U.S. dollars. This widespread use of the US dollar provides the United States with significant influence over global financial flows and facilitates its ability to impose economic sanctions on other countries. By joining BRICS, France would support the objective of reducing the dominance of the US dollar. A diversified global financial system would reduce the vulnerabilities associated with a single currency and promote a more balanced distribution of economic power. Number 6. BRICS as a rising force in the global economy. The BRICS countries have witnessed significant economic growth and development over the years, making them a rising force in the global economy. Collectively, the BRICS nations account for approximately 23% of global GDP and contribute over 50% to global economic growth. This economic expansion has attracted the attention of nations seeking to benefit from the opportunities presented by these emerging markets. China, the largest economy among the BRICS countries, has experienced remarkable growth and transformation. It is now the world's largest manufacturer, exporter, and holder of foreign exchange reserves. India, another prominent BRICS member, has emerged as one of the fastest-growing major economies, with a burgeoning middle class and a thriving services sector. Brazil, Russia, and South Africa have also made significant strides in their economic development and contributed to the collective strength of the BRICS bloc. Number 5. Enhanced geopolitical influence for France. Membership in BRICS would elevate France's geopolitical influence on a global scale. As a member, France would have a platform to advocate for its interests, contribute to shaping global policies, and influence decision-making processes on various international issues. It would also enable France to actively participate in the discussions and initiatives of the BRICS bloc, allowing it to have a voice in matters related to global governance, trade, security, and sustainable development. France already possesses considerable geopolitical influence due to its status as a major European power, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, and a member of influential international organizations like the G7 and G20. However, joining BRICS would provide an additional avenue for France to exert its influence and contribute to the geopolitical landscape from a different perspective. Now, if you think this is something the United States should be worried about, wait for number 1, because on number 1, we will discuss something that will leave you in a state of disbelief. Number 4. Potential impact on the European Union, EU. France's decision to join BRICS would likely have implications for the European Union, EU, as France is a key member state within the EU. While the EU and BRICS have different institutional frameworks and objectives, France's inclusion in BRICS could influence the EU's approach to global affairs and its engagement with emerging economies. France's participation in BRICS could bring a unique perspective to the EU's discussions and policies regarding emerging markets. It could contribute to shaping the EU's trade strategies, investment priorities, and development cooperation initiatives with BRICS countries. France's experience and expertise in engaging with emerging economies could be valuable in strengthening the EU's relations with the BRICS bloc. Number 3. Geopolitical implications for the BRICS bloc. France's inclusion in BRICS would bring geopolitical implications for the bloc as a whole. BRICS currently consists of 5 emerging economies representing different regions of the world. France's membership would add significant Western power to the bloc, potentially altering the dynamics within BRICS and shaping its collective approach to global affairs. The addition of France could enhance the global influence and prestige of BRICS as a collective entity. It would demonstrate the bloc's inclusivity and ability to attract diverse members beyond the emerging economies. France's geopolitical weight and its status as a major European power would contribute to the perceived legitimacy and relevance of BRICS on the global stage. Number 2. Economic and trade implications for France. Joining BRICS could have significant economic and trade implications for France. The BRICS countries represent a substantial share of global GDP and consumer markets, offering attractive opportunities for French businesses and industries. Increased trade and investment ties with BRICS nations could provide French companies with access to expanding markets and a larger consumer base. For example, China, one of the largest economies in the world, has a growing middle class with rising purchasing power. Closer economic integration with BRICS could open up avenues for French exporters and contribute to the growth of sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, technology, and services. Furthermore, collaboration within BRICS could foster innovation, knowledge sharing, and technology transfer, enabling France to tap into the expertise and advancements of other member countries. This cooperation could drive economic diversification and competitiveness, particularly in sectors aligned with the priorities of the BRICS countries, such as renewable energy, infrastructure development, and digital transformation. Number 1. Implications for global power dynamics. France's membership in BRICS would have wider implications for global power dynamics. The inclusion of a major Western power like France within the bloc would potentially reshape the existing balance of power and influence in global affairs. France's participation would strengthen the BRICS bloc's position as a counterweight to Western dominance, particularly that of the United States. The collective influence of BRICS countries, combined with France's geopolitical weight, could exert greater influence on global issues, shape the global agenda, and provide an alternative voice to Western-led institutions and initiatives. So now, what are your thoughts on France's decision? Please let us know in the comment section below.